You aren't failing. You're just playing a game where the system is programmed to move the finish line 10 feet back for every mile you gain. The exhaustion in your bones isn't a lack of character. You're currently being harvested by an architecture that needs you just healthy enough to produce, but too broke to ever stop. We aren't just dealing with normal inflation or a temporary rough patch in the market. We are living inside a highly engineered system driven by profit-maximizing algorithms. Meet Marcus, 34 years old, earning $75,000 a year. 10 years ago, that salary was the absolute American dream. It meant a house, vacations, and peace of mind. In today's market, that same salary has been quietly hollowed out into a survival ceiling. His take-home pay after taxes and basic health care is roughly $4,500. Subtract $2,200 for an entirely average apartment. Subtract $550 for a modest car payment and the insurance required to drive it to work. Pull out another $400 for student loans that somehow never seem to actually decrease, no matter how many payments he makes. Add in the aggressively compounding cost of basic groceries, utility bills, and just keeping the lights on. The amount left over at the end of the month is practically a rounding error. It is a number so small it barely registers. People in tailored suits will look at Marcus and tell him to stop buying his $6 iced coffee. They point fingers and tell him to delete his food delivery apps. They blame his lack of generational wealth on small daily comforts. Those small purchases aren't signs of irresponsibility. They are highly engineered Silicon Valley dopamine traps. They are short-term painkillers meticulously designed by behavioral psychologists to target a human brain that is entirely depleted after 10 hours of corporate stress. When a heavy, unyielding system drains your life force Monday through Friday, you are going to spend whatever tiny scrap of discretionary income you have left just to feel human for 15 minutes. When you buy that coffee or order that dinner, you aren't wasting money. You are buying temporary survival. You are buying a chemical band-aid for structural burnout. You are trying to soothe the symptoms of a disease you did not ask to catch. To actually cure the disease, we have to look at the root cause. The real trap goes much deeper than the grocery aisle or the coffee shop. A recent and highly revealing report from the Stanford Institute for Economic Policy Research laid bare the quiet reality of our current era. Welcome to the low-hire, low-fire economy. Think back to just a few years ago. During the Great Resignation, employees held the leverage. If you didn't like how you were treated, you updated your resume and walked across the street for a 20% raise. Companies were absolutely terrified of losing talent. That era is dead and buried. What we are living through right now is the Great Confinement. Major corporations have run the math. They have realized that firing people is incredibly expensive because of severance and legal risks. Recruiting, onboarding, and training new people is even more expensive. They have deployed an entirely new strategy, powered by corporate algorithms and automated human resource optimization. These invisible systems track your output, your email volume, your active hours, and your project completion rates. The algorithm calculates the precise, absolute minimum salary the company can pay you to keep you from packing up your desk. Simultaneously, it calculates the exact maximum workload you can shoulder before you suffer a complete physical and mental breakdown. They do not want to fire you, but they definitely do not want to promote you. To the algorithmic system, you are no longer a human being with potential. You are a fixed operational cost that needs to be continuously optimized. You are locked in a permanent holding pattern. You become the incredibly competent, utterly exhausted mid-level employee who absorbs the work of 3 people who quit and were simply never replaced. It is a slow, silent squeeze that leaves you wearing golden handcuffs that are starting to rust. You being thrown into this algorithmic meat grinder is not your fault. You did not write the code. But refusing to play by their rigged rules is your absolute privilege, and frankly, it is your ultimate responsibility. You cannot control the macroeconomic weather, but you can build a stronger ship. We have to completely redefine how we view money. Throw away the idea that money is just paper in a wallet or digital digits on a glowing screen. Money is stored life energy. Every single time you clock in, you are trading hours of your finite, irreversible, or beautiful life for a fixed price dictated by a corporate algorithm. When you are stuck in the low-hire, low-fire economy, your life energy is being bought at a massive, insulting discount. The goal of saving, investing, and understanding the brutal math of compound interest isn't to buy a luxury car or to show off to strangers on the internet. The goal is to buy back your life energy. You are building a runway. You are accumulating the financial power to look at a system that is actively exploiting you and simply say, no. You are buying the freedom to walk away. The natural instinct for hardworking people is to just work harder. You think that if you put in 120%, if you answer emails at midnight, someone in upper management will finally notice and reward you. Stop doing that immediately. You working harder in a system designed to exploit efficiency only teaches the algorithm that you can carry more weight for the exact same price. It is a race to the bottom of your own endurance. Instead of using brute force, we are going to intentionally create an algorithmic blind spot using a strategy called dual niche skills. Right now, human resource software evaluates you based on traditional, rigid labels. You are a marketing manager. You are a junior accountant. You are a front-end developer. If you only possess one core skill, you are a heavily commoditized asset. You are placed on a massive digital spreadsheet and instantly compared to 10,000 other people with the exact same label, which naturally drives your market value straight to the floor. Watch what happens when you combine two entirely unrelated fields. What if you are a data engineer who also deeply understands behavioral psychology? What if you are a corporate tax accountant who knows how to write complex Python scripts for workflow automation? What if you are a graphic designer who understands the deep mathematics of conversion rate optimization? When you merge two distinct niches into one professional identity, the algorithm goes completely blind. It cannot categorize you. It cannot price you against the market average because there is simply no market average for the specific intersection of what you do. You suddenly shift from being a highly replaceable fixed cost to an unfireable asset. You become a massive operational bottleneck if you leave. By building dual niche skills, you force the company to pull your name out of the automated review software. See, you force them to put you at a physical table with real human beings who have to negotiate with you based on the unique, irreplaceable value you provide, rather than your seniority or your job title. A unique skill set is only half of the equation. You must combine this professional leverage with a growing fortress of cash. We call this the freedom buffer. The freedom buffer isn't about getting rich quick. It is the slow, patient, highly calculated accumulation of capital and liquid investments that cover your living expenses for 6, 12, or 18 months. It requires the quiet discipline of keeping your overhead low while your income rises. When you possess dual niche skills that a company desperately needs, and you have the freedom buffer that gives you the financial power to walk out the door at any given moment. You hold the absolute winning hand on the negotiating table. You are no longer a victim of the economy. You are a player who has learned how to read the board. And if you are ready to make your next move on this chessboard, if you are truly serious about taking back control of your stored life energy and navigating this economy with your eyes wide open, make sure you are walking alongside people who are actively decoding the system right next to you. Hit that subscribe button to join the conversation and keep building your leverage. We have a lot of work to do and a lot of ground to cover. I will see you on the other side of freedom.